Hi, this is the evaluation of the order trading system activity for July the 22nd, 2021. We had 4 trades on that day. All 4 trades were buys. First trade was FSM. That's Fortuna Silver Mines Incorporated. It tripped at 11:55:17 a.m. at a price of $4.47. Close the day at 444, up 0.45%. Check to see if there's any opportunity here. 11:55, so roughly around here. 448, 449, 449, and it came down here. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't drop, but you could see it dropped here at the end of the day. It came down a little bit, but for the most of the day, it was actually stabilized, moving sideways, but not moving up above its tripping price by much, except for this period here, just after there's multiple points where it was above its tripping price, multiple times. So for me, that's a positive. Check the indicators for that. OBV pretty much is somewhat monitoring or mimicking the price activity that came up, stabilized. You see the end of the day here where the volume activity started coming down. MACD came up, and right after moved down, average moved down, and came down. And the end of the day, you see that drop off. DI came up. You see DI here though. It was in the afternoon, pretty much negative all afternoon. So directional index somewhat in the afternoon was moving down. As you see the end of the day here, where it jumped up in a negative movement. And Bollinger Band again, it somewhat is well. Bollinger Band actually is a duplication of price activity as it's based on it. So it came up, and you can see this is where it tripped up around this area and then moved sideways, and then the day moved down. So the stock technically was stable, but end of the day was moving down a little bit. It was positive during its tripping period, so there was opportunity there. Next trade is ITUB. That's ITUB Unibanco Holdings SA. Tripped at 12:20:09 p.m. at a price of $5.58. Closed the day at $5.55. Was down 1.6%. So 12:20. So roughly around this period. 5.57. 5.59. Yeah, it pretty much maintained its price. It came up, it tripped. Was not there much. Based on just this, it did come up. It did come up during this period of time, around 1 p.m. It looks like where the price was coming up, or the price did come up, but it wasn't there for very long. I'm not going to consider that a positive because of the fact that it just wasn't there for very long. So let's have a look-see at the indicators. Ooh, OBV, yeah, OBV came down. MACD came up, and you see end of the day it was moving up again. DI up, was negative in this afternoon period, but you can see it was recovering. And Bollinger Band actually shows you that somewhat was moving sideways, which the price activity is showing. Up, and moving up a little bit. It is positive in general. The indicators are showing somewhat a positive direction, even though you can see the afternoon was negative. But you can see by the end of the day it looked like it was recovering again, but it was positive for a good portion of the day. I'm going to consider it a possible, but it's not a strong possible. But I still feel that it's possible because the indicators are showing somewhat a positive movement. Next trade is CTRX. That's Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. I think that's Citius. Yeah, Citius. 1:37 p.m. was the tripping time at a price of 203. It closed the day at $2 and it was down 3.85%. As you see early morning in here, it's down 1%, so morning activity is showing it going down. Let's see, 1:30. Actually, 202, so it maintained it here. It came up to 203 again, but 202. Look here, at the end of the day, we had it, yeah, this period here, from 254, 250 period to roughly around 328. So we're talking almost half an hour here where the price was moving above or was above its tripping price. And was there on a regular basis for that period of time, I consider it positive. So let's see if you can see the end of the day though it came down again. It somewhat stayed roughly where it tripped, so it looks like the stock was not moving negative, but we'll check the indicators, see what they say. OBV, you see, came up and dropped off at the end of the day. MACD came up again and dropped off at the end of the day. DI up for a good portion of the afternoon. It was up, but you can see the end of the day is where it came down, but it looked like it was starting to recover again at the end of the day. Like closing looks like positive was coming up. And Bollinger Band technically showing the stock was moving somewhat in a positive direction. It did come up after this low point here in early afternoon and stabilized, moved sideways. The stock was almost moving positive. If it wasn't for this end of day activity, I'd say it's completely positive, but the end of the day was showing a bit of a negative closing. It's almost positive itself, but again, the stock had some period in the afternoon where it did come above its tripping price by a couple of cents, which is good for a low price stock like this. So next trade is RRC. That's Range Resources Corporation. It tripped at 2:25:05 p.m. at a price of 15.36. Closed the day at 15.29, down 1.74%. It is up 1.64%. You can see it's somewhat recovering its price. You can see it's actually up above 15.54. Early morning here, it's above its tripping price, so it's not doing too bad. 225. 225, 1533, so 1537, 1539. Yeah, here, this period here, time here between three and three, like we're talking almost 3/4 of an hour here where it was above its tripping price multiple times. I consider that a positive. And let's just have a look-see at the indicators for it. OBV, you would see it came up, end of the day coming down a little bit. MACD came up, but just moving down a bit at the end of the day. DI was up fairly strongly for most of the periods, like from early afternoon pretty much till late afternoon. It was positive. You see it was making a little bit of negative upward activity there, but still it was positive. It was positive just before that, and it wasn't being pushed down too heavily. So, and Bollinger Band shows pretty much it came up and moved sideways. Technically the stock was moving positive. So that's all the stocks for today. That's 3 out of 7, which is 75%, obviously, and with the possibility, that's 100%. So a fairly good day. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.